I may be the only Equinox main left, and there's no more Equinox mains, then I stopped being an Equinox main, and I'm gonna show you right now and why. So to start off and preface real quick, there's 2 ability duration shards and 3 ability strength shards. For this, you're gonna have to check out my Heimless segment video and Archon shard guide. I would recommend these for all configs and all builds that you're running with Equinox. It's just a really good general rule of thumb. To explain Equinox, I'm going to go into first her ability kit and then go back to the appearance, which is very important for her 2 forms being night and day, and then go back into the kit. So to explain real quick, especially with how Sirius and Orion's out, you're going to get used to the OG version, which was these dual frames and having these dual forms being the night and day. With the passive, you're getting 10% energy on a health orb and vice versa for an energy orb. Think of the equilibrium mod, but only like 10% of it, as well as the Archon Tau Forward Shard, being that 30%. So I would not need to I would not need to use this or even use the purple shard because this 10% is still enough. When I go into the night and day form, of course, which is her first ability right here, Metamorphosis, switching between the night and day, I'm going to be showing you the appearance. So in the appearance, you're going to have the all white or the all black, or like I would say the lighter colors and the darker colors. These are going to base off of what you spawn in the mission with. So if you are with lighter colors, you're going to spawn into the mission with the day form. Darker colors, you're going to start into the night form. So that is important for this, because if you're using the Helmleth and you subsuming this ability off, which is what I do recommend so you can actually use the abilities together, you will be losing the access to switch. And when you do that, you will be stuck in day form, you'll be stuck in night form. That's why I'm saying that. So to go into the second ability and just the rest of the kit, you have Rest and Rage, where in the day form, you're getting damage vulnerability on enemies, depending on the range that you have, of course, which is, think of Nova's 4 or her antimatter, where you're just doing more damage to the enemies, and then you're increasing their speed so you can group them up better, and then you can nuke them easier. And then think of the night form. The night form, you're just going to put the enemies to bed, and then when they hit 50% HP, wake back up. For the third ability, and honestly, hold up, that 50% doesn't even matter because you're already planning on nuking them, so I'm telling you this not even matter. But to get into the third ability, it's going to be a keyword of per ability and per enemy. So a great example, it says 47% buff of strength, ability strength for you and your allies per ability. So if you have like a Dante who's always casting abilities, that's of course going to drain you a lot more. So you have to keep in mind your teammates when you're doing something like this. And then same thing for the Knight. You're going to be reducing the damage or negating damage as that with that multiplier per enemy. So if you have 100 enemies in a room, there you go. You're going to be multiplying that by 0.62, and that's the enemy that's going to be, or the energy that's going to be drained. And the bread and butter, what people know of Equinox as a nuker, if you do know, I'm telling you, if you do know, it's going to be Mend and Main. So for the day form, to cut it quick, you see it's a slash nuke, 358 base with a 0.75 multiplier. This number is going to be built up based off your slash damage, slash kills, and slash status effects. That's why I would call her a weapon nuker. She nukes based off the weapon she's using, not the same as a weapon platformer. And based off of that, your weapon is going to be determining how much you can get. So if you have more impact-based weapons, you're not going to have a fun time. And she's pretty much locked to slash, which is her little niche that she forces you in. For the night form, though, this is going to be based off of health and not a slash nuke. So what happens is, when depending on how many kills you get, that's how much shield you're going to regen and how much of your health you're going to restore. The problem with this is, and this is where I'll get in for the rework, is that it doesn't give you over guard, it doesn't give you over shield, it just restores health and shield, causing it to be really outdated in today's meta, where at that point you're already getting one-shotted in 999 or Capcade, you're already getting one-shotted, and you would just be better off nuking everything and just not worrying about this. And since you're not able to keep all these stacks when you switch back and forth, you're going to have to use energy transfer. Why? You're going to be in the night form, put enemies to bed, reduce the damage, build the stack, switch back, and then hit this nuke. Realistically, you would still pop your 3 and the 2 to do more damage, then pop the nuke, but that's just the gist. And that's why I want to show you my day build. The day build and the night and the double build have the same idea of Molt Augmented to get some more extra strength out of your nuke, and Arcane Circumvent to give you survivability, to armor strip easier, and etc. So I have Corrosive Projection. You can use Mecha Empowered here as well, but it's just a little bit more beginner friendly, and all of these you could just use their normal mods. Of course, you don't have to use the Prime Continuity, you don't have to use the Prime Flow. Same thing with the Sure-Footed. So to go in for the day build, I will get rid of the first ability, spawn in day form, and have pillage. So I can armor strip with my circumvent, get my overshield back, and I'm acting as this mini glass cannon room nuker. Keep in mind though, Archon Stretch does not proc, right? Because it's a channeled ability, so this is not going to affect it. But what it is going to affect is that in between those casts, I will get those extra pieces of energy, that 6 energy, whatever. So in this case, just run regular Stretch. If you have the Archon Stretch and you have the capacity, why not use it, right? Same thing with Prime Sure-Footed is not a must. I would recommend actually Cunning Drift. But if you can use the Prime Sure-Footed and you're running 999 content, Capcade, ETA, and EDA, which are like more of those endgame activities, of course I would recommend to keep this Prime Sure-Footed at all cost. And of course it's Blind Rage and the rest of these mods for this build. To get it in, and kind of what I was talking about earlier of having a weapon nuker, it's very important to have a really good weapon that could work with her, and that's why I think the best example or in slot would be the Miter. For me, it's the most fun. With Primary Merciless, a good Riven or Bane mod of your choice, even a regular Bane mod. It doesn't have to be these great, it could just be one of these. And then of course the rest of these mods. The reason I say rest of these mods, these are for the arbitration. This doesn't have to be the Bane mod, this doesn't have to be the Riven, this is the free slot. That's exactly why I'm saying that. You could put whatever you want, you could put even Hunter Track, you could even put in, you know, what is that other one called? It's the Slash mod, Hunter Munitions. You could put in Hunter Munitions as well. It doesn't really matter. Since I have this, it's going to be better off than Hunter Munitions because I'm getting multi-shot out of it, right? Honestly, I would just put the Hunter Munitions there. Using this weapon, it's going to be causing a lot of status, a lot of slash status, as you see here with the status base, 258. 82% of that being slash and the rest being viral. And I'm going to be getting a lot of my stacks there, so I can build up my nuke. The Aphrodite is just a fun secondary I want to use with Cetus, or Cytonax, sorry. I call them Cetus snacks, and it was just fun to use since it's out and it's new. And the Praetos is great for parkour velocity because of its incarnate and challenges. And secondary is just any companion that works with the Mecha Empowered set, so just run a Kubro and then run the Mecha Empowered mods, and that's pretty much it. Alright, now that we've loaded the mission, I'm going to pop my 4 on my day build, which is getting ready to build my Mend and Maim stacks. I'm going to pop my 3, which is my Pacify and Provoke. And then I'm going to be going in, popping my 2 in every room, which is the Rest and Rage. Getting ready to build up those slash procs. And as you can see right now, it's kind of covering it, but I have about 1 million of the Mend and Maim nuke stacks. So now as I go to the next room, build up some more, do some armor strip with the Hildren ability, which is Pillage. Her subsume going in. You could use also Terrify, that reduces armor as well. I just think that Pillage is a little bit better for this scenario. Doing the same thing, that's the Miter as well. Just giving me all these extra slash stacks, clearing every room. Now I already have about 3 million, so the next room I go into, it's going to get completely cleared. So let's go to the next room right now. Pop my 2, 4, everything is out. Rebuild my 4, or recast my 4, excuse me. Go in and go to the next room, go to the next room, clear it all with my Miter, and now I have another 1 million and some change stack. Go on. Use my Hildren's 1, get some shield regen, strip armor and shield, build some more, pop the 4, everything else got cleared, repop the 4. Now I'm out of energy, and that's why I said this is a little bit of a worse mission type for her, because since she can't sit still, she can't really sit, enjoy energy, get any extra energy from a pad or etc. And she's kind of left to deal with that other situation. Now I'm stuck trying to find where the rest of the enemies are. Now we found our way. We're going to go in, pop our 4 stack. Yeah, I got lost there for way too long. That's not good. But we're here, popping the Mend and Maim again, getting our stacks ready. More nuking for Equinox to show off. Going on, going ahead. There we go, popping this, going ahead. And you can see pop the 1, pop this. And everything is gone. Once I'm done using my Miter and I'm ready to nuke with my Equinox, it's going to be a case of clearing a room with the Miter or your weapon of choice, and then you're going to be finishing up in the next room with the Equinox ult, and then it's a rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, and repeat. You're going to see she's really good for doing something like this. It's really good. They locked me out because they know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen. And you got to watch out for nullifiers. Those will be the end of your run. 4, Everything is gone, right? So this is literally what Equinox is about. That room is done, and now the mission is clear. The exterminate is done, and I can just extract now. There you go. And that is exactly why I love Equinox. Very unique and niche touch. And there we go. Got silver part right there. Some good ducats. Exactly why I say if there is only one person left who is an Equinox man in the world, it's going to be me, because I love her so much, and I showed you why. Very fun room clearing nuker with some unique touch to her, and it will be so much better and so much quality of life to have that night form rework. And I would love to use her, especially if we get some type of overshield or overguard. She's going to go up so many tiers, and I'm telling you, it'll be night and day. No pun intended, of course. So that's why I was glad to show you guys this build. Remember, again, run these shards. This is very good for all types of builds. If you're running the double, the day and the night form, or you're only running this day form right here. Either way, I'm running the same arcanes and same idea, same structure. So, like I said, if there's only going to be one Equinox main left in the world, that main is going to be me. And this is why I love Equinox so much. My God. So, of course, if you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, what are the builds you want to see next, or maybe like you would call a niche frame that doesn't get used as much. And, of course, I'll get onto that one next.